Denver Broncos Mile High View. We do have a sponsor. We got a couple of them. We have Raptastic cigarettes and pot brownies. Fantastics for the smiles of success, and you can get your your Raptastic cigarettes and your pot brownies at Mo Better Market. We were that close to getting Waffle House. We were that close. No, all joking aside, I have a disclaimer I have to make is that any commercials that are on our in our videos on YouTube is strictly the NFL and YouTube Google, which is a quasi government. It's a public-private entity. If you really want to know what it is, they're the ones making the money because they need the money. We obviously we don't need the money. Just those entities need the money, but they're the ones. We don't make one red cent from any commercial. But it because of Google's copyright agreements and everything, they can make money off our product. I just wanted to put that out there. Not that anybody has really even probably thought about it, but we don't get a red cent. So are you ready to piss off everybody today?
That's what I asked.
Yeah. And I also need to also make another disclaimer is that there's a misconception that we like being the bearer of bad news. That is not true. The deal with this channel is we're not going to lie to you like the others that are getting paid. They're getting a check. They're getting some sort of stipend to give you a PR spin. And that's what frustrates us. We're frustrated because what we've seen so far with the Denver Broncos, okay, they've been quarterback obsessed. Okay, that's been going on for 6 years. So getting Wilson is no surprise. They really lucked out on that only because they had the draft capital. Also, I would say because they don't know how to develop anybody. They don't even know how to develop anybody, let alone a quarterback. So they were, obviously in a market, but all the moves we've seen thus far in the offseason are very similar to what we've seen six seasons in a row of what we call Elway mismanagement. And we also have to put a disclaimer out here that we're not going to lie on behalf of Death Valley. This idea that the guy running the show isn't Elway, when it was discovered in this coach hunt process that our own George Payton could not pick his guy. He was tapped on the shoulder, and this was verified, and we linked to it. We have the link to it. Dallas, people close to Dallas, Dan Quinn was going to be the Denver Broncos' next coach, and Elway put a stop to that. And if he's doing that, what all is he involved in? Then we see the film with Russell Wilson where he goes into Elway's office that supposedly isn't supposed to exist, but yet does. It looks like he lives there. Everything short of a tent, or he sleeps there. And then Wilson says, "Hi, boss." You didn't say that to George Payton. Said that to Elway. So we got to stop playing games like children. And we don't play games like children here. Somebody said to us in a comment, they said, you must really, your wives must not like you. And my comment back should be, well, do you lie to your children? Is that what you do? You obviously lie to yourself. So do you lie to your children as well? Is that what you do? You lie to everybody. We're not going to lie to you, and you're not going to like if you don't like the truth. Fine, there's the channels that'll tell you everything you want to know. But when this thing goes south, we're not going to be here to say we told you so. We're going to be here to say we're holding you accountable too, because a lot of you are going along with this, and you've been cheerleading this for now going on 7 seasons. 7 seasons of disastrous moves, stupid moves, and and what Elway did is he put people to blame in front of him. You blame Vance Joseph. Well, you got rid of him. Then you blame Fangio. Now you're getting George Payton is setting himself up for the blame, and I'm not going to let you guys blame everybody except for the guy that hides behind every one of those people that has to fall on a sword for him. And I find that a bit disgusting, quite frankly. This is, if we had real journalism in America, this would be one of the most insane stories in sports history. You got a guy who can't be seen in public because he's such a bad manager. He's got to put people that to fall on a sword for him. And if this thing goes south, I don't want you blaming the next onion layer. I'm done with that. You got to blame yourself, first of all, for falling for 6 years, now going on 7 years of bad moves. How in the world is Russell Wilson going to save a franchise that went from and there's a reason why it was a Super Bowl contending franchise, a reason. It wasn't the guy called Elway who has to hide now. If Elway was so great, he wouldn't be hiding. We wouldn't be having this conversation, you know. We're the only one that'll come out and tell it like it is. Okay? He would be up in the forefront. You know, he'd just be a part of the environment. Okay, so what we've seen so far is very discouraging. And if this thing goes south, I don't want to hear people bitching and moaning. You all cheerled this. You know, we've been bitching and moaning all along, so we have a right to. But you cheerled this, and don't be shocked. Oh my God, this didn't go the way we thought it would go. How in the world is Russell Wilson going to save a franchise on his shoulders that continually screws up all the time? Yet again, I mean, this time last year, you all told us this was a playoff team. You all said how wonderful Teddy Bridgewater is, and we said no, you're going to stab him in the back. So we're getting ready and wondering when you're going to stab Russell Wilson in the back and bury Russell frickin' Wilson. We can just see the train coming down the tracks and the bridge is out. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? All right, there's my rant. I had to calm you down because you're fed up with it.
I'm fed up with this bullshit. Number one, there's a lot I have to get off my chest, and this is going to be a minute, and I'm going to try and handle myself with ease if I can. Number one, there's a reason I do film, and I'm objective with it. You know, I don't, get bought and paid for and show highlight reels in certain games. I show a certain game, like Billy Turner. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't like my film reviews, go do them yourself. I mean, I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to show you guys fundamental problems that could happen down the line. And you guys refuse to look at that because you guys are a bunch of idiots. Okay? Number two, you guys get all your bullshit and crap from John Elway and the Dove Valley. And to the fans, I don't blame you because I know you guys are brainwashing. You guys are mindless sheep that follow anything that comes out of that fucking organization. So I don't blame you because you guys are fucking idiots. But you guys don't understand the true nucleus on what's going on here. I'm going to hold every single one of you accountable if and when they bury Russell Wilson. And you guys are going to bury Russell freaking Wilson, a guy that, number one, is viewed across the league as a competitor, as a guy that understands how hard you need to work to get to the next level. And you really think these receivers are going to be able to help out in this offensive line, especially? Let me tell you what, that has been a problem for 6 years. And to the people that just say that John Elway doesn't exist, you guys, I'm going to hold every single one of you accountable. Like my partner said, I'm going to hold every single one of you guys fucking accountable when this thing goes south, because I've said time and time again, the moves that we are making this offseason and the moves that will eventually happen in the near future don't accumulate a Super Bowl winning team. This isn't the fucking 2012 Denver Broncos that Peyton Manning walked into. All the people that are spewing that bullshit, you need to shut the fuck up, go back to basic journalism and understand that was a Pat Bowlen / scouting department / Adam fucking Peters ran Denver Broncos team, not John fucking Elway, because Pat Bowlen had to have a leash on John fucking Elway. That's what you people refuse to understand. So if you guys don't like my film reviews, go kick rocks. You can all go fuck yourself. Go ahead.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Absolutely. Go fuck yourself.
See, I don't really let those people bother me too much because I'm just going to wait for the inevitable to happen. They never seriously addressed either line, so yeah. So this really is about this broadcast is about why the Denver Broncos are not the 2012 Denver Broncos. Pat Bowlen being alive, first of all, alive and well at that, well enough, I should say. It wasn't completely well, but well enough. You had the GM, the scout. We also had a GM at that time, but we had Adam Peters, who was instrumental in bringing in a lot of these people like Von Miller. That wasn't Elway, by the way. You can tell yourself all you want. We have people also who don't even understand that Peters even existed because they don't really. And one thing I remember distinctly was in Elway, Pat Bowlen continually having to put a leash on Elway with player personnel and with coaching because he wanted Vance Joseph. And this is the big one. He wanted Vance Joseph, and Pat Bowlen said, no. You're to stay out of these affairs. Let our people like Adam Peters, let Wade Phillips, let them bring in the player personnel. Let Peyton Manning also help do some recruiting, and they cut John Elway out of a lot of that. That was well documented in all this. So once Elway got full control, he didn't want to release that, and it's been a disaster ever since. There is the moves that have been going on, the lack of the line, just this obsession about the corners, an obsession about the edges, and where did the Denver Broncos? I'm going to ask you this, and it's like this isn't like rocket science here. Where for the last few years, where has the Broncos been attacked? The Broncos defense. Where has the Broncos defense been attacked, Colby?
In the middle.
Constantly. And they just can't learn they can't learn. They don't learn. And they still haven't learned. Now, they did get somebody in the middle that we really like, but they didn't continue to build on that. They wasted a pick on Gregory. Gregory is your typical Menelik Watson and Jawan James type of a move. No, he's not a wash like those guys, but the pick itself, getting a specialized 4-3 player in a 3-4 defense, at least, we think that's what they're going to run. Their coaching staff is all 3-4. I mean, but if they decide they're going to mishmash Dom Capers style, this thing could really go south quick. And you're going to ask Russell Wilson behind a really subpar offensive line to start playing catch-up ball. I mean, this is like I said, defensively, to me, this looks like a bloodbath waiting to happen. I mean, look at the defense, the 2012. You just did a film on a guy named Williams, and nobody has disputed that. Your critique, where this, we're just scratching our heads. Of all the people you could have got, Bryce Callahan, being that he was right there, you went with this guy. And from what I can see, in just a game against the Rams, it's almost as if this is so last 6 years. They went out of their way to find the most toastiest of the toast corners they could find, a guy that can easily get burned. They got a linebacking. They don't care about, you heard Colin. Colin takes money from the Broncos to spew crap. And what does Colin say? Colin, the great, gets all these views because he, of course, a lot of people think he's full of shit too. But he says you don't need linebacking. But when I watch the Super Bowl, And I see that push up the middle, like we saw in the last 2 Super Bowls, and the linebacking taking away those first reads, neutralizing quarterbacks. I think that's the model I'd go with. That's where the NFL is today.
That's the model you had in 2012. That's the model you had in 2015. That's the model you had, when the Broncos won their Super Bowls. Again, Wade Phillips was ahead of his time. We already did a video about this. He was already ahead of his time. And again, Adam Peters was a crucial part in everything. He was the head of scouting department. He had bigger say than people realize. This is why I'm a bit. And look how successful, and look at the player personnel he's accumulated in San Francisco. This is why they refuse to let him go, because he's that valuable to that organization in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan knows it. John Lynch knows it. The owner knows it. They understand that Adam Peters is a vital nucleus in their organization. You people refuse to understand that, because we all know John Elway's tapping everyone's shoulders saying, no, I want Randy Gregory. I want Kawan Williams. I want Alex Singleton, out of all people. And again, we're going to move Baron Browning outside. You were talking about coverage linebackers. Again, you had 2. You had Kenny Young and Baron Browning, who I thought were the best 2 linebackers we've had since Danny Trevathan and Brandon Marshall in their heyday. And what do? You refuse to bring back Kenny Young because Kenny Young refuses to come here. And then you move. And then out of all the moves you could have done, and this is typical John fucking Elway, you're going to move an inside linebacker who was growing each and every game towards the end of the season. You're going to fuck his development, and then you're going to move him outside, which he doesn't fit at all. And then you're going to bring in a guy named Randy Gregory, who is strictly a one-trick pony in a 4-3 defense. I showed the film. I don't need to repeat myself with that. I showed the film on Alex Singleton. Don't need to repeat myself with that. And I especially as hell don't need to repeat myself when it comes to Kawan Williams. I assure, because we all of you people know we are going to get this defense is going to be one of the worst defenses in the National Football League. Because number one, you're going to mishmash systems. You're going to hamper people's development. And oh my God, the attacking in the middle, and Kawan Williams and Justin Simmons, because people don't attack Justin Simmons. I don't need to attack Justin Simmons. There's other teams already doing that for me. Like, come on. So basically, Justin Simmons is not an all-pro safety. Kawan Williams is a guy that there's a reason why, if San Francisco was so high on Kawan Williams, they would have brought him back. They understand player personnel. Adam Peters understands player personnel. I would have brought back Bryce Callahan. I would have brought in Anthony Everett from the Baltimore Ravens, who's a great slot corner, who is younger. But no, what did you do, John Elway? You just had to do the ultimate John Elway fuckery and get Kawan Williams. And now this defense is going to flat out suck. And that behind, I want to get into the offensive line later, but Russell Wilson behind that offensive line, people just go watch film against the Ravens and just tell me if that offensive line is top notch. You say above par. I disagree with you. I think the offensive line is going to be absolute dog shit. Dog shit. Because they did nothing to address it at all. Again.
I didn't say above par. just to let you know.
Well, you said par. You said par. I'm just saying.
No. This offensive line it's gonna happen just like it happens every year. We start playing teams that actually mean something, and teams that know about how to and have been working on their lines. It's going to show. It's going to show the teams that worked on their lines versus the teams that didn't. Just thought, we'll be against the good enough ones. Good enough. It's going to show itself once again. It's going to rear its ugly head yet again. There's no way around that. It's just, yeah. And Dove Valley believes. Dove Valley, I think it's Elway. He actually believes it's just all about the quarterback. Nothing else seems to matter. I wanted to say something. I want to say something about. Hold on. I want to say something about Kenny Young. For me, Kenny Young was a guy that would have been instrumental if you had the philosophy. Remember what we said? The development philosophy, the family philosophy of bringing up some of these other guys into the coverage linebacking idea. The idea of coverage linebacker, of the securing the middle of the field. I don't think he was the superstar in that, but he was a guy that was good enough. He was a guy that he would like a bridge. I'd say like a bridge linebacker to groom those Trevathans, to groom those kind of guys. He would have been instrumental in that, and then that was just completely blown up. Just like on the offense, you got rid of the running backs coach, you got rid of Munchak. This is going to be very interesting. Go ahead.
Well, you bring up the linebacking. I also want to bring up the defensive line because that is a vital part to your success on a defense. People refuse to look at that. They think edges, Von Miller, all that. They refuse to look how Aaron Donald dominated that Super Bowl this past Super Bowl. You people were the same people that said Draymond Jones would be a Pro Bowler. Look what happened. We were right again about that. Now you're going to rely on DJ Jones, and you have Mike Purcell, a guy that's over the hill. Again, it's just I don't understand this defense. I think this defense is going to be one of the worst. Alex Singleton, do I need to repeat myself? He's not a coverage linebacker. He has the speed, but he's not instinctual in coverage. He can't recognize play design. Josie Jewell, don't even get me fucking started with him. I mean, this guy did film and he roasted Josie Jewell. And Josie Jewell, yeah, okay, Josie Jewell is a good player. I think he's a good player, but he's not a starting level linebacker in today's National Football League. You need the Isaiah Simmons, you need the Zaven Collins, the Devin Whites, the Levante Davids, the Eric Kendricks, guys like that can neutralize the middle of the field. And you don't have it. You had it with Kenny Young and Baron Browning. You had it with those two.
We knew it. Didn't we predict that this was going to happen?
Yes, we predicted it to happen. I know John Elway's involved because he can't get away from his ego. His ego is so ego-driven in that organization that he thinks that we're just a quarterback away. And that trickles down to STR, the other online platforms, and the fans that think we're just a Russell Wilson away from competing in the Super Bowl. We have the talent on both sides, all three levels, which we do not at all.
No.
This is going to end badly. There's a reason why Russell Wilson isn't signing his extension, Mile High Bubble, because he's waiting for the owner, and he's going to. Well, if there's an owner.
Well, yeah. Well, and nobody has yet explained how the Kaiser, because nobody in the media wants to do their job anymore. Nobody asked the question to Ellis down there, wherever they were. How does this Kaiser? What was it? It was. It's going through appeals. How does the Kaiser appeal affect ownership? The ownership. We don't have one journalist to ask that question. Not one. Not one of them can ask that question because, again, there's no journalism anymore. It's gone.
Yep.
So that's still up in the air. So I don't even have an answer. But as far as Russell Wilson is concerned, I would say that he would be certifiably insane. I mean, certifiably insane. If he doesn't tell the Denver Broncos, look, I've got to talk to the owner before I sign any kind of extension. And what he does not have to tell the Broncos, and he can keep his cards to the vest, is I'm going to test drive this organization. We're going to see what really is under the hood here. You know, it's fine. Do you think Russell Wilson really is going to be able to trump Elway? I mean, honestly. But Elway doesn't exist. You know, okay. The Elway doesn't exist is a non-conversation because of the Dan Quinn non-hire. He came in and interfered and said, hack it. And, you know, here's one other thing. Russell Wilson should be looking around and looking at the landscape at the Denver Broncos and say, well, this looks like it was all set up for another guy. His name, Aaron Rodgers. I'm just a number two here. I'm just this, you know, the second, the next option. Again, is Elway really going to relinquish that grip? You know.
Well, again, you said the important thing here. You talk about LA doesn't exist. Yeah, that isn't a conversation because we can even go back to last year during the draft. I mean, verified by many sources that Patrick Surtain was Elway's pick. George Payton even came out and said it. George Payton himself came out and said it. Okay, so don't give me this crap that Elway doesn't exist, because that is a bullshit conversation. And when he does his film review, he's going to go on a loop. What's up, boss? Or hey, boss. From and if he didn't exist, why is John Elway still in the building? It looks like he's living there in his office. Like, again, that is a terrible argument. That is a terrible argument to even consider when you're talking about Elway doesn't exist. Also, to your point, you were talking about Elway doesn't exist. What was the other point you were talking about?
What I was going to say is this: is that all anybody has to do is go to the website of the Denver Broncos, look at the administration staff, and go and look. There's somebody occupying president of football operations. Well, what is that? What is football operations? What does that mean? That hasn't been taken down.
Well, the president, do you want me to explain what it means? Because it's not that hard to explain.
Explain to the never believers out there, the people that just want to drink Kool-Aid all day long. Please explain to them what a president of football operations is.
Basically, the president of football operations is the president of all operations that happen on the personnel side of the football team. That's basically what it is. The GM has to go to the president and be like, hey, can we do this? That it's basically just, can I do this, John Elway? Can I, please? Can I do this? No. We're going to go after Nathaniel Hackett, not Dan Quinn.
Yeah, it's the GM of the GM.
Yeah, pretty much.
What did Von Miller say when he was here? I'm not doing this for the
GMs.
EMs.
And also, you're bringing up how Russell Wilson was plan B. I guarantee you, and we will hear this from Oakley Dokley Stokely himself. He'll be the front man for it. Well, we didn't want Russell Wilson all. If this goes south, we didn't want Russell Wilson all along. We wanted Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson sucks. That's why he was plan B.
Yeah, we didn't want him. Yeah.
Follow that line. You'll have all the feel-gooders. Follow that line.
If Oakley Dokley Stokely runs his big fat mouth and starts saying that, I'll call the show and I'm going to tell him to shut that fucking pie hole of his. Shut it up. Knock it off. Stop being they say we are negative. Okay, wait. These guys have more poison and more vile than anybody else. Like, look at Locke. I mean, they can't even leave that guy alone.
They can't leave Von Miller alone.
They can't leave Fant alone. It's just they are poison. They're absolute poison. And this is the thing. There's one platform out there. They're Dallas writers. They're Indianapolis writers, and you dumbass Denver Bronco fans clamor onto every word they tell you.
Yeah, I know, and we could go the circle back to the Russell Wilson thing. You're doing film review. Do these receivers even come close to the receivers in Seattle?
No, because they go to the second level.
Jerry Judy's already complaining about Wilson.
That's what I understood too. So I'm done with that guy.
I'm done with him. I've been done with him for a year. I said he sucks. You should have drafted Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs was a pick ahead of us. You still could have jumped him.
You definitely could have done that. But there's no emphasis on
years ago.
There's no emphasis on the line, and none whatsoever with this team. I want to say this to you: I feel like the undying here. If the Klingon High Council would have listened to me, we would have had D7s at Axonar. What would our offensive line been like had they listened to you?
Okay, so this is what our offensive line would have looked like. Okay. I would have drafted Quentin Nelson over Bradley Chubb because I understand the importance of the offensive line. Even Gary Kubiak said that he wanted, before that whole thing went down, he wanted Quentin Nelson because Gary Kubiak understands it. Right tackle, I would have drafted Ryan Ramczyk over Garrett Bowles, Garrett Baby Bowles. Okay, that at center, I would have kept Matt Paradis, draft Creed Humphrey in this past year's draft, and developed Creed Humphrey. I would have drafted Creed Humphrey and started his ass. I was a big fan of Creed Humphrey coming out of Oklahoma. Okay, and then left tackle. You could have drafted one. There was plenty of them out there. You could have got one in free agency, a very good solid left tackle. Right guard, you have Quentin Miners. So Quentin Miners would be your right guard. Left tackle, that would have been an interesting thing because it's hard to understand the left tackle prospects in certain drafts because there's players out there because of the offensive line. And when it comes to high school, college, and NFL, it's not as important in terms of development like it used to be. So offensive line talent kind of comes in with like oh crap, what am I supposed to do? Because they don't get proper development like they used to back in the day, like they do in high school, college, and going into the pros because they don't get that proper development that they used to back in the day.
Also, I had Calkins, or the guy from Tennessee. I had him come in.
Jack Conklin, yep.
Conklin, yeah, Conklin. I had him slated to come in, but they didn't. They went and got the other guy on the other side,
Juwan James.
No, not Juwan James. I'm saying they got the other guy on defense that never worked out. That of course didn't work out.
Jarrell Casey.
Jarrell Casey, yeah. Let's not go get our offensive line. Let's go get So again, that's 6 years, 7 year going on, kind of nonsense. Remember all the crap we took for that we said Casey? Remember how they cheerlead that? Oh yeah, and it didn't even pan out like we said it wouldn't.
That was a disaster. And again, we haven't addressed this at all. This defensive line is going to suck.
Yeah, I was hoping. There goes. I had some.
Oh, DJ Jones ain't going to be able to carry all that liability on that defensive line.
I was hoping DJ Jones could help Draymond Jones, but you can't have Purcell. You can't have him there. You should have moved on. You should have moved on from Purcell. You should have done that.
But they don't get that. They don't get.
No, and they
doesn't get it.
And then they put out they spew out, like Josie Jewell rallying. This is what I don't understand. When I was doing that, everybody understood Josie Jewell just wasn't, a first starter. He wasn't a first string starting linebacker. Everybody knew that, but now it's just all those people have been told to shut up. I guess now we got to cheerlead another bad situation.
Well, yeah, this whole team and organization's in a bad situation. Just because you guys got Russell Wilson and you got your feel good moments for the offseason, when reality smacks you in the face like it did this past year, and it's done for the past 6 to 7 years, when they promise you the moon and can't deliver, you guys are just going to bury Russell Wilson. You're going to bury, you're going to bury DJ Jones. You guys are going to bury guys like that actually, make sense, like a DJ Jones. Oh, DJ Jones sucks. Draymond Jones is better. Like, it's just going to be utter bullshit because me and you know, and some fans out there know that, again, this offseason didn't correlate to helping Russell Wilson at all. All this offseason did was continue that continuing thread that we've seen over the past 6 to 7 years, getting players that don't fit a certain system, overpaying for guys like Randy Gregory. Well, he only has a 2-year, $28 million deal. Well, if you look at the grand scheme of things, I can go on the contract details on Google and look up the bonus incentives, the playing incentives, and all that calculates up to $70 million. Okay. Like, that's what they did with Juwan James. I agree with you. That is exactly what they did with Juwan James. Again, you are still paying $11 million in cap hits with Shelby Harris. Again, you have cap hits all over the place that you're still paying players. You're still paying Menelik Watson. You're still paying Juwan James. You're still paying Shelby Harris. Again, your cap situation sucks now because all your cap is at players that aren't even on the team anymore.
Yeah, actually, that's another problem they have too in this restructuring of Wilson is exactly how they're going to deal with that. Just even if Wilson wanted to, there's still some issues there.
Well, also, I have another issue. You Nathaniel Hackett keeps saying that he wants to run that zone running scheme. I love Javonte Williams. I will eat crow. I was wrong about that pick. I'm happy I'm wrong. But again, me and you have been sticking by this. If you were going to run that scheme, because Elway likes to do this each and every year, change systems. If you were going to run the West Coast running scheme all along, why didn't you draft Michael Carter, who had better vision and better burst in terms of reading the type of, well, you know what? At the end of the day, there you go. That's John Elway for you.
Why did you get rid of Lindsey?
Oh, because he wasn't an Elway pick.
He wasn't. No. Yeah, he was not an Elway pick. Elway that was another guy despised by Elway too.
Well, you've seen that, Kenny Young's despised by Elway. All these Isaiah McKenzie, who got a new deal in Buffalo, Khalif Raymond, Trinity Benson in Detroit, guys like that. Those no. We can't have those players on our team. No, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Tim Patrick. We are going to pay those, especially Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. We're going to pay those guys a combined $80 million. Yeah, that's what we're going to do because those are Elway players.
Yeah, and I'm breaking down Russell Wilson film in Seattle, and I'm seeing receivers that go to the second level. So they're working out with the receivers now. I mean, I'm not telling you that Wilson had to have seen on tape, like, oh boy, oh my. I can understand why Wilson's out there working with those receivers. They need work. They do. Of course. They need work.
Oh, so yeah.
It is no surprise why he's trying to get these guys up to speed, And we brought that tape. We showed that tape. We talked about that last year. While they're blaming quarterbacks, well, wait, whoa! You got this offensive line situation, then you got receivers, taking off, and then they get paid. I mean, you can't even make that up. It just.
Well, you talk about the receivers. The offensive line makes everything go. I don't want to, get that lost in the conversation. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing that with the Javonte Williams argument that I have. If you're going to run that certain system, Billy Turner, okay, I understand that to a degree. He's probably going to get hurt because he's starting to get over in age. You're going to start Graham Glasgow again, who doesn't fit a West Coast zone running scheme. He's a power gap guard. Same with Lloyd Cushenberry. Same with Natane Moody. And we're just going to bench Quentin Miners because he sucks. And again, it frustrates me to all hell that I have to hear that because I was the only person out there saying that I wanted Quentin Miners in the draft, and I got all the shit in the world, and look how he did. He was the best offensive lineman on that team last year when he started.
Blah, blah, blah. Just roll the tape. Don't talk about these offensive and defensive linemen. Blah, blah, blah. Just roll the tape.
And you know what's funny about that? If, I'm not the one that's, showing highlight reels here. I'm showing a specific game that Billy Turner's playing and a specific moment in time in that game that you people refuse to understand. Oh, well, you guys need to clean yourself up. Well, shut the fuck up because you ain't doing shit. But again, the moment in time here, when I talk about offensive line, the reason why you people hate that shit is because you can't understand a word I'm saying in terms of technique work, foot discipline,
hand placement,
all that crap. You guys just want to hear all the feel-good shit right up your ass and want rainbows and sunshines up your ass that you guys can go listen to the guy Colin who gets paid for every single video that he does. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just doing this because I understand football. I understand the proper techniques that you need as an offensive lineman. You know why I wanted Ryan Ramczyk? You know why I wanted Tristan Wirfs? You know why I wanted Quentin Nelson? You know why I wanted those guys like that? You know why I wanted Trevor Penning in the draft? You know why I hit on those later round picks? Because I do deep dive research and I understand offensive line players that fit a certain system. I don't go on and asking these pro football focused morons to tell me what I need to, get in the 3rd or 5th round.
From Great Britain.
From Great Britain.
Quarterback. That's all you have to know. You just know quarterback. That's all you need.
Yeah, so when that quarterback gets killed again in like halfway through,
it'll be the quarterback's fault.
Of course it will be.
We wanted Aaron Rodgers all along.
Yep, that's what it's gonna do. Yep. You guys think that Russell Wilson's this, he'll run around in the backfield? This guy said it best. He is a pocket passing quarterback. Yeah, he has the athletic traits, but he relies in that pocket. He relies in that pocket like any quarterback should.
I'm telling you right now, if and I can't imagine that Russell Wilson will allow this, because I give Russell Wilson credit.
Garrett gets beat time and time again.
No, what I'm saying is that you're not going to see RPO. I'm not sure if the bubble and other platforms are pushing. I'm not sure what they're pushing.
They're pushing throw the ball deep 20+ yards. That's what they're pushing.
They're okay. Take the top off, right? Okay.
Yep.
Let's not do those high percentage, because I was showing also in the film where you don't have to necessarily throw the ball 25, each and every time. You don't have, first of all, the offensive line. This is, again, we brought this up and season after season after season, that you're going to have to make quicker throws with this inconsistent offensive line. You're going to have to run the ball a lot more than what these online platforms are going to want. You don't want Russell running around. Russell is a pocket quarterback. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts about it, because
just like every quarterback should be, not running around taking hits in your career, like Lamar Jackson and Colin Kaepernick, guys like that, Michael Vick.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. If the Ravens are going to get off get off whatever they're on and do it right, they're going to. And Lamar Jackson has the ability to be a good pocket quarterback. They're going to have to focus on that, because they're just going to get him killed. I mean, he's not in high school or college anymore. His body is older, and you're playing pros. So you don't want him taking all these hits and stuff, and he has everything it takes to be that pocket quarterback. So I just don't understand why the mentality in Dove Valley and isn't focused on interior. I can't, because now you got a guy that needs that, and you didn't for 6 seasons. You haven't addressed that, so it's just going to manifest itself. And you're right. You get it from Hackett. It sounds like they just want to keep throwing bombs away. I don't. It's easy to defend. Those are low percentage completions. I guess they'll just have to learn the hard way. I guess that's all I can say.
They're gonna have to learn the hard way again, like they've done for the past 6 to 7 years.
Well, that's just here's something for you. You would think that people would have started asking questions after the Raider total dismantle of the Denver Broncos. You think that would have, just because they were just so sure how they were going to win that game. And, they didn't want to step back and say, hey, man, maybe we're not what we think we are. Maybe we better really start doing what these guys at Mile High View do. Look under the hood, check each part out, and find out what's going on here. No, they just cranked up the PR machine. It's just, that's not how you run. You're never going to make it to, and I'll say this. I always figured, to me, the Broncos were always a muddle in the middle team. There's no difference now to me with Russell Wilson, that they're anything more than what they were. So like I said, maybe they hit a couple of teams better this year than they did last year, got lucky. Okay, got lucky. And they muddled themselves into a playoff spot. This will be the Super Bowl for these teams. But what I'm saying is it's not going to be sustainable. It's a playoff pretender if they even make it that far. But I think they're going to have a tough schedule this year because of Russell Wilson. I think it's going to be thrown at them because they're going to want to see Russell Wilson versus, the guy out in Buffalo, the guy out in Cincinnati, whoever else they get, Lamar Jackson, this kind of thing.
And we're not even the best team in our own division, and I just want to just say that because the Chargers did something that they understand it. I mean, even the Chargers get it now. They understand it.
We're probably going to see a Broncos-Seattle matchup this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to play they're going to have to play the Rams, and they're going to have to play the 49ers
and the Cardinals. Oh, the defense coordinator for that is right. He's going to have him come in with a chip on his shoulder, and that cover.
Oh, yeah.
And that pass up the middle. Good God.
Well, you don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to have a chip on his shoulder?
You don't think Josh McDaniels is going to have a chip on his shoulder too up in Las Vegas? People are giving the Raiders shit, but you guys said when Gruden was fired, and I kept standing by it. I said the Raiders have better player personnel than the Broncos do, and they upgraded this offseason. They upgraded it.
Yeah. No. That's the Chargers don't exist. They don't exist.
No, they don't exist. Okay.
Well, you heard all the propaganda, right? The Broncos immediately are just like a half a step behind Kansas City.
Okay.
Well, the thing is the Chargers may have just leapfrogged Kansas City. I mean, this team can't, this team has to figure out how to beat the Raiders. Well, we got Russell Wilson. Okay.
You lost the Raiders twice this past year.
Yeah, just saying.
Then the Chiefs, you lost twice again.
Just saying.
The only team you went one-on-one, the only team that you split was the Chargers, and they upgraded from last year. I would not be shocked if we went 0-6 in our own division. I would not be shocked unless it's the last game of the year.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked.
And through all the people that said that, oh my God. We're just having... Dude, you don't understand what the Chargers have done. And I'm not trying to say that I'm a Chargers fan. All I'm saying is that way went after Sheldon Joseph Day. They went after Khalil Mack. They went out and got coverage linebacking. They went out and they actually got a corner and J.C. Jackson. You want to talk about corners? They actually went out and got J.C. Jackson, who is one of the best man-to-man corners in the game. Not this Kwan Williams bullshit.
They'll never learn.
Hold on. I got so much shit again for the Derwin James argument between Justin Simmons and Derwin James. Again, they have a better safety than Justin fucking Simmons. Even the Raiders have a better safety than Justin Simmons. Even the freaking Chiefs, Justin Thornhill is a better safety than Justin fucking Simmons.
Yeah. They've got to. They've really drank the Kool.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of defending a Justin Simmons. Stop. He sucks.
I know. I show film of this guy just being non-existent. Film
with not highlight reels.
Well, this is what fans really should do. I mean, you can't ask them to do that. They just want to listen to what makes them feel good.
Yeah,
we go and we dissect players from around the league because we like to see what actually works.
Marcus Williams.
I know.
No, right, Baltimore. He went to fucking Baltimore. Okay. Even the Bengals have better safeties than we do. The freaking Bengals. And the Bengals fixed their offensive line. I wanted Ted Karras. I wanted Collins. Oh, my God.
That's why these teams, it's not about their quarterback. This is why these teams are going to start being a powerhouse. Okay.
The Bills?
even before Josh Allen.
Even before Miller.
The Chiefs, even before Mahomes.
The Chargers, even before Justin Herbert.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah, no, we can't have these conversations. We can't because, I mean, there's only a few of us that really understand it. And it's frustrating we're not the only two. There's other people. We've just been, silent every year. You don't know what you're talking about. Then, of course, it's the moon. It's the moon. You don't know, but they can't hit the treetops.
I think me and you agree on this, and I think this is what happened because I want to go. This is exactly what happened, and I'm going to stand by this till I die. This is exactly what happened. Aaron Rodgers refused to come to Denver.
Oh yeah, he wasn't coming here. No,
he wasn't coming here because of John Elway's egoness and Mark Schlereth being handled by the balls of Elway. Had to spew that bullshit on draft night to Schefter. What happened was they were trying everything. They brought in the Packers coaches. They brought in all these people to appease Aaron Rodgers. That didn't fall through. So what they did, they got desperate and they gave up all their capital, all the Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, Noah Fant. They gave up all of them for one guy in Russell Wilson. Now, I love Russell Wilson. I would have taken Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers. I want to say that right here, right now. But again, the resources that you allocated towards that is going to hamper you in the next 2 to 3 years. Because understand this. You don't have a first-round pick for 2 years. You don't have a second-round pick for 2 years. Do you have a second-round pick this year because of the Von Miller deal? But it's basically an early third-round pick. It's the end of the second round.
You could possibly move up.
And this draft was loaded with offensive and defensive line talent to the freaking T. But again, this is why I know this was a John Elway move. Because there wasn't a quarterback in this draft. There wasn't his Trey Lance in this draft, his Josh Allen in this draft. So what he did, I'm going to go trade for Russell Wilson. I'm going to give up everything, and I'm going to give with the Seattle whatever they want for Russell Wilson. And again, you could have got Jordan Davis with that 9th pick, who I would have taken number 9 overall. I think Jordan Davis is an excellent talent. You could put him at nose tackle next to DJ Jones and Draymond Jones. That would have elevated Draymond Jones if you added Jordan Davis to that defensive line. But you refused to look at that, didn't you? Now, you're waiting till the 3rd round. You ain't going to get a starting level player. You're going to be getting a depth player at best if you draft the right depth player. Because if you draft, I honestly wouldn't be shocked if we draft a tight end or a corner with that pick. I wouldn't be shocked.
So
I would not be shocked at the least.
Okay, so excuse me. Had this team brought in Aaron Rodgers, I believe the hit would have been a lot worse. I believe.
Really?
Oh yeah, I believe they would have given Rodgers like Mahomes type money.
3 first-rounders?
At least.
Oh my God.
I just want to make the point, he did not want to come here.
Yes.
He did not want to come here. I want to say something about this quarterback draft here. I'm going to pull just a name out of the hat. No particular. I'm just a name out of the hat. And I'm going to talk about the Detroit Lions. I know we're a Broncos channel, but we analyze things here. You could, for instance, if you wanted to do it right, we'll just take the Detroit Lions, a team that's doing the building thing. You could draft Pickett. You could draft Pickett and keep him and develop him into a decent bridge quarterback. I think, in my opinion, don't get all goofy about, so obsessed with quarterbacks that you lose the ability to develop. I don't think that he would come with a big. I don't think you'd have to, do a lot to get Pickett, for instance. I'm just saying that. I'm just picking him out of the hat. And he's got, I've seen research on it, and I'm just trying to say building. And then, you got a guy that you could work on while you're building all the other pieces up too. And you can end up eventually in a situation like Kansas City. If let's say Archie Manning the third comes along. or the second. I can't remember what he is. And you get that guy, but these are organizations that know how to build. They know how to develop. They build a family. I'd love to, if I had a chance, I'd love to turn the Detroit Lions into a powerhouse. I mean, if just for fun. I mean, just for. And I would say to each and every player, this is me, the GM kind of guy talking. I would say, forget the Lions, forget all that. This is all about you and what you can do. This is family. This is about you being, showing what you can do. This is about you supporting your teammate, bringing this family environment together. You don't have that with the Broncos. You have a team full of mercenaries, a team full of Band-Aids. You have players that are good that get treated like crap over players that shouldn't be getting the deals. It's just a toxic environment, and it is going to show itself. It will show itself again.
Well, see, this is exactly why I look at things at a deeper level, and I'm happy you brought up the Detroit Lions because I love what they're doing right now. Okay, well, it's Detroit. They haven't won shit. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Dan Campbell and that GM have a relationship that I wish we had. They are starting to build something over in Detroit that is family centric and developmental centric. They went out and drafted Penei Sewell. They went after and drafted, I think the last two, the second and third round, they went after defensive linemen. Okay. They understand the philosophy. They brought over the Rams assistant GM who understands player development, how to build things out before they got Matthew Stafford. I know you wanted to bring up Kenny Pickett, pick him out of the hat. They have Jared Goff still. I think Jared Goff is the perfect bridge quarterback. The perfect bridge quarterback. You can build around Jared Goff. Then next year, the year after that, you can get your guy. Again, they're doing it right. And also another team that, I know you don't, you think the Jets are a joke. I'm telling you, the moves that they made again this offseason, they're building into something. Zach Wilson, I'm iffy on. He's your typical Jets quarterback, but he could be your bridge quarterback to the next quarterback. You could build the team around him. They're doing it right. They went after offense and defensive linemen in free agency.
It was
The Giants are starting to do it. They brought over the Buffalo Bills family-centric organizational environment to the Giants. Again, these teams are starting to get it. It's not going to be pretty the first 2 to 3 years, but after that, when things start rolling, you're going to be in contention for Super Bowls. You're going to be in contention for actually being real contenders in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, long lasting.
Yep.
Yeah. I just see it, yes. This it's that '90s mentality. It's that.
It's that.
Well, it's that hard on the edges. I mean, now you got Capers who's into like mishmashing. It's like this organization keeps going backwards, and they keep promising the moon. I mean, the PR. I'll give the Broncos this: they have the number one PR, the number one spin.
Yep.
Of every team in the NFL. I've never seen anything like it. But then when reality hits, they're all like, who do I blame? Well, maybe you should start blaming the guy that's been hiding in his office, running the show. If this goes south, try that. Try saying we need an owner to clear everything out. Just saying.
I agree.
Well, what else you got?
That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, so we'll just get ready to. I'm expecting basically the same thing in the draft as what we saw in free agency.
Corners, outside linebackers, edge rushers. And that's it. And we'll get a tackle in the 6th or 7th round. But yeah, that'll be good enough.
Yeah, somebody like Miners that they are hemming and hawing whether they want to get rid of him or not.
No, probably worse than Miners.
I'm just saying. Just saying. It's we'll sit back. I mean, we got an uptick in subscription because why? Why?
They want to tell us how wrong we are, and then we'll go back down again, just like this past off season.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I know. And we've been through this so often. Well, I mean, I've been going through this since the I mean, when I said Flacco and Juwan James, I was like, no, I got so much. I didn't know what I was talking about. The same people that wanted Juwan James and wanted Flacco. Why? We never said that. We hated this guy. Okay, whatever.
Whatever you say, man.
Yeah, whatever you say.
You're
Yeah.
eating that shit. Get that feel good Kool-Aid and want it right up your ass. Get
Yeah.
that
Then they
green
just went on
crap.
to the next PR spin. They jumped onto that one. So,
Go watch Mile High Bubble. Go watch those Indianapolis and Cowboy Riders, and just
go
suck
with it.
that Kool-Aid. Just suck on that Kool-Aid, baby.
Just go with it. You know, yeah, opium, man.
Oh, go go watch those go watch those film studies. Go watch them. Go watch those highlight fucking reels. Because blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Just play the video.
You know, I never saw that comment. I never saw that comment. It never showed up.
It's on the Billy Turner video.
Okay, I'll go see if I can find it. Another useless.
Same guy that commented to you that John Elway doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I said. Another useless. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
From the Kool-Aid factory there.
I'm looking forward to your Russell Wilson video because I want to see the loop of John Elway. Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Well, that's going to be separate. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. Yeah, that's going to be a separate video all to itself. It's going to be sung to the tune of Conquistador by Pocahontas. So basically, the song is you were once this mighty warrior, John Elway, and now you've basically shriveled up and died. So.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll let you go. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.